Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Gyan Bhakti. We are currently exploring the Holy Scripture, Mysticism of Ramayana. Commentary is by my Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayananji Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. We are currently on the Uttarkand, and in today's Satsanga, we will be studying the story of Kakabhushundi. Within the Tulsi Ramayana, several different storytellers are relating the story of Rama simultaneously. When Lord Shiva, one of these narrators, concluded telling Uma, his consort, the story of Rama, he explained how he had learned that story from Kakabhushundi, a great sage who forever abides in the form of a crow. He then related the interesting story told by Kakabhushundi ji to Garuda. Garuda is the vehicle of Lord Vishnu, as many of you may know, of how Kakabhushundi had become a crow and why he has chosen to remain in that embodiment through all cycles of creation. It's very interesting. In one of his previous incarnations, Kakabhushundi was a young, arrogant devotee of Shiva. Even though his guru again and again instructed him not to hate Vishnu and the worshippers of Vishnu, Kakabhushundi continued to do so. So, not listening to his guru and being ignorant are not ideal for an aspirant. You should follow what your guru is trying to say because he has your good in mind. He even began to hate the guru himself for asking him to be broad-minded and became insulting to the guru in various ways. So these are the early days when Kakabhushundi ji was a arrogant devotee. One day, Kakabhushundi was seated in the temple offering prayers to Shiva when the guru entered the temple. Out of arrogance, Kakabhushundi stayed seated and did not rise to welcome his guru. And that is such disrespect and such a wrong thing to do that he did, thinking he is doing his mala and that is higher. And when your guru comes, he is Brahma in human form, Brahma, God himself. So in a human personality. So therefore, in Sanatan Dharma culture, we have so many stotras, even the Guru Gita that Lord Shiva himself has narrated to Uma, are all singing the glory of the Guru. So, but he did not do that. He did not rise to welcome his Guru. Suddenly the voice of Shiva rang out in the temple and cursed Kakabhushundi, saying, "O ungrateful disciple, since you have stayed seated like a snake, may you become a snake and continue to incarnate through thousands of embodiments as lower forms of life." Imagine Lord Shiva himself getting upset because his devotee, the guru of this arrogant aspirant, was insulted. The gurus are always full of love and compassion, but it is the ego and lack of proper understanding that disciples have, unfortunately. So hearing this curse from Shiva, Kakabhushundi now trembled and the guru was moved by profound compassion for him. Look at the hearts of glorious teachers. They are full of love and compassion and kindness. The guru then prayed to Shiva to withdraw the curse he had imposed. Imagine seeing God and asking him to forgive the very person who doesn't listen to you and who is not following your orders and has shown disrespect to you. That is what a truly evolved sage looks like, not someone who takes revenge. So, appeased by the heartfelt prayer, Shiva reduced the curse by ordaining that those lower embodiments would pass very quickly, which means he will be born and then he'll quickly die, born, quickly die, but he still had to complete that curse. Further, he told the disciple, after exhausting your 1,000 embodiments, you will be born in Ayodhya, the sacred city of Rama. And there, by my grace and by the force of satsanga, devotion to Rama will arise in your heart. But remember, never again should you displease a spiritual preceptor. Consider all saints and sages as Brahman himself. This is how important the sages and saints are. They are God's messengers on earth. They are instruments of the divine plan. Therefore, we should always revere sages and saints, and that's why you must have seen a lot of devotees do Shashtang Dandvat Pranams. They lay down with all 8 limbs at the feet of the Guru. So he's not adoring the body, he's adoring the essence, the knowledge that is coming out of that body from the Guru. According to the words of Shiva, the disciple was eventually born into a Brahman family in Ayodhya, and from his very childhood he was immersed in worshipping Rama. After his parents died, he entered into forest life and approached a sage for spiritual initiation. The sage began to expound the non-dualistic philosophy of Vedanta, the path of Jnana Yoga, but the Brahman youth was not happy with this teaching. His mind was so intensely devoted to the worship of the personal form of Rama and to the path of Bhakti Yoga or devotion that he insisted again and again that he should be given initiation into that path. So again, his arguing nature continued from his previous birth, where he wanted to do something then that his guru was asking him to do. Angered by the disciple's stubborn insistence, the sage cursed him, saying, "May you become a crow. You keep quacking like a crow in everything I tell you." So the disciple accepted that curse lovingly, as if it were a welcome blessing, and immediately began to fly while adoring the sage. So the sadhak, in this case this disciple, of course had reached so much maturity that he could understand the sage's curse and did not take it literally. He understood it was for his evolution. Seeing this, the sage regretted having cursed the boy and revealed to him a secret, that he taught Jnana Yoga to most people but kept Bhakti Yoga for very select type of highly qualified aspirant. And that is true. They say Mukti Bhakti ki dasi hai, which means that if you are truly devoted, liberation comes as a maidservant with the devotion. So what we should do is pray to Hanumanji, pray to Meera, Shabri, Gopis, all these highly evolved personalities who are wonderful devotees, and pray to God that we get their love of bhakti, their devotion to God. Since the disciple proved to be that type of aspirant, the Guru then began to initiate him into the path of devotion. So when the Guru saw the disciple's qualification and his yearning, then he put him on that path of bhakti, teaching him the art of meditating on Rama as a child through the aspect of devotion known as Vatsalya Bhava. That means loving God as parents would love their child. Vatsalya Bhava is the same that Ma Yashoda had for baby Krishna when Krishna was born, and she enjoyed having God as her child. The Guru further blessed the disciple with the ability to easily understand the hidden secrets of the scriptures and to develop ever-increasing love for Rama. So one thing that's important for us to understand is that these scriptures are coded, they are password coded, protected. They will not open themselves to ordinary people who are materialistic and just after name, fame, history, money, those kind of things. It has to come from the heart, and for sincere disciples the secrets open up, who are aspirants and who are following the teachings of authentic teachers, gurus, real gurus, qualified ones. That is the power that comes, and then the scriptures reveal their real meaning, not just reading the scripture. Anybody can buy a book and read that, but the real meanings are explained by sages and saints who have experienced that nectar. And that is why when we do it in a combined format, it's called satsang. That's why I called all my videos as our daily satsang. When we are connected with God, when we are investing this time with God, it is no longer just a video. It becomes a prayer. It becomes a satsanga, association of good people. That is why it's important that we understand and share this deeper meaning with everybody else also. As a result of those blessings and initiation, the disciple became sage Kakabhushundi, a great devotee of Rama, and attained oneness with the Absolute. So this is called Parabhakti. Bhakti is plain devotion, just devotion, but Parabhakti is extreme devotion, where you become ecstatic, you become so intoxicated, aisi lagi lagan mira ho gayi magan, which means you do not care about what the world thinks, where you are, how you are so immersed in God that you almost become one with Him. That is that state of ecstasy and parabhakti, which unfortunately most people don't know what it is and will probably never experience it, because you have to pay this price to get to that point. You have to give less importance to the world and more importance to God to achieve that state, and then with His blessings you continue to ascend that path, and it comes through God's grace. It doesn't come through resources and money and all those things. Because of a rare boon received from Rama, he had the power to maintain his body as long as he wished, and so he continues to live on through ages and ages in order to teach others the path of devotion and knowledge. So Kakabhushundi ji is a wonderful sage in the form of a crow in the Meru mountains, in Kailash mountain where Lord Shiva resides, and now he shares this satsanga as the mission of his life with everybody else. And I feel such a blessing to be such a humble instrument of my Guruji to share this divinity knowledge and whatever his teachings are with all of you in different ways, shapes and formats. So I hope that touches your heart also, and then you can pass along this blessing to others. Although he could have assumed any form, Kakabhushundiji, he wished he retains the beloved crow embodiment in which he attained oneness with Rama. So that is why when he has attained that stage, body becomes meaningless. It's just a tool. His Atma, consciousness, spirit is ever the same, and that's where he is. He is in that state of bliss at all times. And since his enlightenment came in that crow embodiment, he treasures it, he values it, even though an ordinary person will say, what is that? In this form, he continues to hold satsanga as numerous birds come and listen to his teachings. Further, whenever Rama incarnates in any age, Kakabhushundiji goes to Ayodhya and watches the baby Rama playing and delighting with his parents. So that is the bliss that he enjoys. Then he returns to his Himalayan ashram again and resumes his teachings. So that is a special blessing he has from Lord Rama, to be in a perpetual state of ecstasy. Just imagine when we experience a little bit of pleasure or happiness, or even in our sleep, how good we feel. But imagine now that state of your existence at all times, perpetually. That is the state of enlightenment and the state that Kakabhushundi ji is experiencing. So may we also attain that state. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Om Tat Sat.